How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation, time to get that imagination all revved up, get into some creativity, and it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from Rafael Albuquerque. And if you're not familiar with his work, check right over here. He is a wonderful comic artist and illustrator. Found his stuff over on DeviantArt, and he is just phenomenal. I love his use of color. I love his a little bit of rough line work. I think it really works well for his style. He's got just some great... this one I loved especially. I thought that was just a really wonderful layout. You got the silhouette kind of in the foreground here, and then all the detail in the background, and I thought that was an interesting contrast for where you'd usually see all the main detail and everything up in the foreground, and a little bit more rough in the background, and also the kind of flow that you have through this piece from the tip of the branch all the way out here through that piece that it winds back around is just a really interesting flow as well. You can see that if you just follow from this corner here, it kind of zigzags a little bit, but continues the flow to keep your concentration right over here. And same with all the lines, just really helping to keep the eye directed all the way through to the main focal point of that piece, and that was really interesting. This one I love the expression on. I thought that was just a beautiful example of getting expression in your facial emotions across here, and a really great layout as well. And I love the use of simple color. I tend to find myself more attracted to flat color or just a very minimal amount of color in all the pieces. This is another one. This would be a great almost concert flyer for an old punk band kind of thing, and it just got a really great vibe to it. So definitely check out more of his stuff. Like I said, I'm a big fan. This one especially, that face is just beautiful. The nose shape here and those ears are just phenomenal. So definitely check out more of his stuff. Like I said, I'm a huge fan. I think he's a great example of someone who brings their own unique style while kind of riffing on stuff from the past as well. But I wanted to share a quote with you guys that I was able to find from him, and that said, keep the ideas fresh and original as much as possible. And that's kind of a tough one. You want to try and stay somewhat within the things that you're comfortable with, and the things that they're not comfortable with, that might be the wrong term, but the things that the aesthetic that you kind of like, but you also want to try to continue to push yourself and to try different things, and keep experimenting and growing and bringing, trying maybe different mediums or different in the case of what we do here with the videos, I mean, every day I'm using a different rig that I've never used before, so I think that kind of helps for myself to not be able to stay too much in the same vein of doing similar things all the time or having the same approach all the time. Albeit, I think I could probably mix it up a little bit more with that stuff, with the illustration stuff. I know for me personally, I'm always studying new people and trying to find new people to study to try and help myself stay fresh and original, and continue to not work in the same way each time. But it's difficult because once you kind of get familiar with something, you get comfortable with it, and you start to get good results, it's hard to break that down and say, okay, I'm not going to do it that way anymore because maybe there's a better way to do it all the time. So that's a difficult process to have, but I think it's a good thing to try to push yourself to do. Let's say you always draw your eyes this way, and it's a good eye, and you've come to where you can render out an eye really well fairly quickly, and it looks on. But another artist does it differently, and not that you want to copy their style exactly, but maybe you could learn something from the way that they do it. But that would take time and effort to try and push yourself to learn that, and then maybe along the way you don't necessarily end up using exactly their same way that they draw that, but you can implement things that maybe you learned from the way that they do it into better, making your process better as well. So that being said, I'm getting a little rambly, so let's go ahead and get into some animation. This is the Mischief Machine rig. It's a free rig you can grab over at Creative Crash, and I will throw a link to it in the description below, along with more stuff from Rafael if you guys want to check out that as well. And if you're not familiar with what we'll be doing for the rest of the videos, we give ourselves 48 frames, give or take. I go off and I find a rig that I've never used before. It's a free resource for you guys to play around with as well. And we kind of go from there. A little bit of over the shoulder, hang out with me while I animate, a little bit of talking through the process, or something to do with the creative world in general. But the main goal of doing these videos each and every day is to hopefully encourage you guys and inspire you to go off and create your own stuff using your own imagination and your own creativity and your own unique voice. And that you're taking another step in your journey towards mastering whatever medium it is that you're passionate about. And that being said, I just want to get into some animation. So what I was thinking for this one that would be fun, that would be a little bit different, is to try and see if we can make it so that he walks on these things. Now, it's going to be a little funky because the way that it's set up might not lend itself towards that, but I think we can probably find some way to make that work. So let's drop the shoulders here and drop this one down as well. Try to keep those fairly even so we're not doing minus 39. And what do we have on this one? Let's go like minus 30. It doesn't have to be exact, but just because we are kind of breaking these joints, I want to be kind of in the right way here. And then we'll bring that down here, bring it over to minus 90 there. Actually, we might need a little bit more, try to keep it flat here. Something like that. Maybe we'll push it back a little bit more. Let's see, what can we do here? See if we can do anything really with that, but I don't know for sure. So let's see. Just keep tweaking this stuff until we find something that's going to work for us. It's not great. I'm a little worried about, let's see, what do we have here that we can do about how we're going to get that portion to feel right. Maybe we're getting it somewhere. Let's see. I guess we could do something like that. And then we'll raise universally up on this so that's kind of flatted out a little bit more. And we're going to want to try and keep that straight up and down if we can. We'll just keep tweaking this until we get a good pose out of this here. Like I said, it's kind of a weird idea, but I thought it would be kind of fun to try that. We'll push that one forward a little bit, and this one back a little bit, and then we'll lift the legs up here. It's kind of funky where that one's rotating already. That's okay. And then we'll do a little bit of drag back here. This one, a little bit of drag back there as well. Oofda. Why is that doing that? Okay. Bring that up. Alright, we're starting to get somewhere. Pull them in a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and rotate. How are we going to split this up? How would this be the pelvis, I guess? these guys, we'll rotate them forward a little bit. Bring this up a little bit more now, so it's not intersecting through the ground plane. Take that and rotate it in Y a little bit. This up a little bit more. This one back a little bit more. Might go. Actually, let's take a couple steps back. Do a little bit less. Rotate Y here. Keep it somewhere more like that. We'll take the neck here, and we'll rotate that, or not. There we go. Kind of funky the way that controller works. So let's try just doing it. Oh, how weird. Okay, it's kind of a funky controller here. Let's try and do a little bit of that neck rotate if we can, without making too much of the polygons get disrupted here. It's a little better. Bring the head forward a little bit more. Bring this arm up a little bit. Maybe forward a little bit more. And this one, we gotta see if we can go down a little bit more with that. Maybe not. So we might have to grab the torso here, bring it down. Okay, I think that's a fairly decent start here. So we can start doing this move. Definitely some funky things with this rig, but I think we'll be able to work around them here. So let's go ahead and save our file. We are using Autodesk Maya 2014 for today's video. And let's go ahead and set our frame range. We're just going to do a cycle for today. So from 0 to 48. We'll make sure we just have our NURB curves, NURB surfaces, and polygons selected. We'll go ahead and grab everything. We'll go to frame 0 and we'll set our first key. And let's start trying to see if we can build this thing here. And we'll just keep varying that so it's back and forth and back and forth. Okay. And we'll grab this one. We'll go forward with it. See, that's what I was afraid of, that it wouldn't be able to go down as far here. But I think once we do our twists and stuff, we'll be able to offset that a little bit better. Then we're going to vary this side here. So I get okay. If worse comes to worse, we'll just favor it over on that one. What is going on here? Okay, I think it's because of the rotation here. So we're going to want to rotate Y forward there, then back there, forward there, and back again. Okay, and then we're going to want to twist, so offset the rotate there. We're doing some stuff there, and back again this way, there, and back again. Okay, and let's look at the our graph editor here. So Window Animation Editor's graph editor. Let's look at our rotate Y's here and try and balance them out a little bit. So we're just going to look at our outliner here. Let's see. Pretty sure I want it to look more like that. That might be too far though. So let's see. Now let's look at our hips here. Let's balance that out a little bit better. A little under 6 here. Just trying to even it out. Okay, and then let's go ahead and grab the pelvis here. Go down. Oof, see that connection with that foot's a little funky. Down, up, down. Lots of stuff to work around with this rig, but we're doing a weird idea, so kind of anticipated that we might have some funky stuff. Remember, anytime you're animating, you can't really get frustrated because poses that you come up with and the things that you create are kind of your own frustrations, so be aware of that when you work. You're creating your own problems as you go, but that means you get to come up with creative solutions as well. So let's go ahead and see here, see how this is feeling. I just feel like these are too much movement, so maybe we'll scale this in a little bit more. It's a little too, it's either too fast or too much movement, so I think I'm gonna just scale it down in movement rather than speed. And then this one, I want to pull it in a little bit more. Somewhere kind of like that. And bring that back there. Let's see. Okay, and we'd also want to pull up on there. So it's not dipping through the ground there as much. Let's see. Try and get in a good sweet spot so we're not breaking it too much. Maybe it's something we can do with the shoulder here. 'Cause I think I'd like to keep it inward a little bit more. So let's see if with the shoulder controller we can do something there. Okay, and we can vary between there. Okay, a little bit of grossness going on through there, so I gotta be aware of that. So maybe let's see. Let's keep tweaking it until I can get something that doesn't have that in there. It's a little better. Still has a lot of work to go before it's something good, but I think the idea will be workable. So let's see. So I'll lift this one up here. And lift it up here. Let's see. Maybe a little bit higher on the translate tier. Raise those up a little bit higher. Okay, and let's look at the shoulder. Okay, maybe we won't be able to go that high. But what we could do instead, let's take a couple steps back here. So we could go here and rotate it back there. Okay, we'll have to key it individually, I guess. And bring it in here. And we'll delete that one. And then bring that over there, that over there, and delete that one. So let's see. And then the only other one that we're really having a problem with is right here, so we need to go out there. Bring that over there, and that should start cleaning stuff up. And then we're at 3. Let's push this back to a frame here because it snaps a little bit hard into there. Now, this one, I think I might. Because I don't really like that it goes out there. So maybe I'll delete this key, that key. And 18 we could maybe. I'm not going to push it too far because I still want to do some stuff on the hips. So let's actually just approach the other side now. So keep it contacted there. We'll make sure we lock in all of our main keys here. And we'll do a lift up here. And lift up here. Okay, and now we'll look at a rotation here. We'll do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and bring it back. Okay, and let's look at the rotate Z's here. Even those out a little bit more. We might just have to do more up and down overall on the hips then maybe to help offset this. So let's see. So we'll grab here and we'll look at the translate Y's here. We'll go ahead and lift up there. Okay, let's see now. Alright. let's keep tweaking before we start polishing stuff up. I think we took a couple too many steps too far already. Bring that back over this way. Bring it back over this way. Back over this way. And zero it out again. There'll be a lot of counter animating in this one, that's for sure. Which I usually try to avoid doing, but in order to make this idea work, we're going to have to do that. Right, and then let's also push the hips over this side a little bit, and over that side a little bit, back again, and back again, and zero them out. So let's see. Alright, and we'll clean up that and maybe tone down the translations a little bit. See it now. Alright, let's grab the feet and let's start doing a pass on the feet here. And then go up and down and up and down and up and down. And then back again. Let's see. Maybe I don't like that. Let's see. Let's clean it up and then we'll see. We might go the other way around. So we'll go. So they'd almost start here and then drag down. That's probably better. And then we'll put another key in here. Go up a little bit higher. And I think overall we just want to tone down the movement a bit more. So let's see. Okay, and again, let's just tone down the movement overall a little bit more. It's just a little too busy. It's in the right ballpark now. Alright, let's see it now. Now, as you can see, this foot's the way it's built is a little bit different than that foot. You can see it's there's some other controller that's influencing it a little bit more. So this foot's always going to be a little bit busier, even if we try and tone it down a little bit more, which I'm gonna try and do a little bit here as well. But there's a rotation that's kind of affecting it that isn't keyed in there already. It's just kind of built in because it's taking some more movement from the hips. Just in how it was set up there as the controller. Okay, let's try and let's look at it from the side here. Alright, and let's go and lift it up a little bit more here so it pounds down. Lift it up a little bit more here. Translate wise, and we'll clean them up a little bit more. And we'll look at these guys. And we'll set that there, set that there, 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 there. And let's drag it down a little bit here. Raise it up a little bit here and set it there. this one, and we'll take everything we have and just delay it one frame here. Okay, and then we'll look at this guy. Try and redo some of this more. So let's take a different approach with these. Let's just look at it from the side view here. And let's look at the shoulder here. Let's see if we can get something a little bit better there. So maybe we need to push it forward a little bit more. As much as we can. And push it out a little bit as well. That feels pretty good. And then let's do some rotation here. Feels pretty good there. Clean out whatever grit is in that shoulder there. Take a couple steps back. Looks fine from the side, but as soon as we get it in here, we're getting some snaps and everything. So let's see. Maybe there's some way that we can. Do some of this. What if we just started off with that step? Let's see. Might just be something we have to work with here. What if we just push the shoulders all the way up? All the way down. Keep trying to tweak it here. Like as straight as they can be. Does seem like it's a little bit less now. Alright, let's look at the feet again. This might not be the finest end result here. We'd probably have to go through on ones and end up doing a whole lot here. So let's keep the feet kind of under there, under here, under there, under here, and back again. And so we're going to translate X. I'm going to tone that down a little bit more. So let's see. I think we got to tone down the translate Y's on these guys a little bit more here too. Just on the downs, really, the ups seem okay. So let's see. Now, when we look here, is there any way that we could straighten it out a little bit more here? So we'll be able to translate X, bring it out there. And then we'll bring that one over to there. Try that instead. Now let's look here. Try to go up a little bit more. Bring that over there. And let's take the translate X that we put in and just minimize that a little bit more. And let's let this foot go a little bit lower sometimes, so there's some variation in those steps here, or in those foot patterns. Let's see. This one as well. Maybe bring this one down a little bit lower here. This one down lower again. Maybe a little less up to start with here. And we'll tone it down a little bit more. This over here, we should try and go like that. I think we'll see how much of a funky thing it does to those arms, though. Alright, now let's look here at the feet. And we'll do a little bit of rotate should be an eye controller here. Our animation suffered a little bit from our idea here. We've got a couple of things that probably if we would have stuck to the way that the rig was kind of made to work, we wouldn't have to worry about those little divots in kind of the elbow area. But you know, one thing we could try. Let's go ahead and let's save our file here, and maybe we can try switching the hands into FK instead of IK, which I would normally not do for something like this. But maybe it'll help us clear some stuff up here a little bit. Let's see. We can always revert back to it if we want to. Then we can tweak these and zero those out. This, and we'll zero that out. Excuse me. Holy, got the sneezes tight. Okay, so let's see. Obviously, there's still something funky with this one. But maybe if we did this, it'll help us clean up that a little bit more. Still have to fight with some certain things here, but could possibly help us a little bit more. Keep that one back a little bit, and we'll set that and set that, and then we'll switch here to back. We'll see if we can get this to polish to look better. Sorry, my nose is so runny, say. Kleenex down there. Okay. Bring that forward here. Back there. Back there. And back again. Let's see. We'll set it so it loops a little better. Okay, well, at least we're avoiding that problem. Now we're going to have some intersection in here, which is going to be a different problem that we'll have to deal with, but I think that might be an easier problem to assess here. So, at 6 we'll want to go, let's see, maybe we need to bring the whole base down a little bit more here. So if I have to rotate X's and spine, I'll bring them down a little bit more. And grab the shoulders and bring the rotate C on these a little bit more forward and back. Okay, it's a little bit better. just keep tweaking this thing, but let's keep a look at it. Okay, yeah, this shoulder must be doing something funky here. Should we loop back into it? I'll leave it here. Okay, I think this is going to be a better workaround. At least we get some less janky arm moves here than we had before. We just have to worry about intersecting through the ground plane, but I think we can still make it work here. Okay, now what we want to do here at 12 is make sure that we keep the arm going back here, back there, and vary between those two here. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to look at this arm back here. A little bit less here. Let's see. Okay, and then we'll grab this thing here. We'll key that. Okay, we can't really do too much of that. Maybe we can do something here. Go there. Bring that to 24. Bring that to 30. Bring it to 36. Okay. Let's maybe push it universally up a little bit higher. Okay. Let's set that there. Set that there. And this one will go ahead and rotate forward. And set that, and this one will rotate forward. Actually, let's maybe drag it back here, lift it up there, drag it back here, lift it up there. Let's try that instead. And this would need to be about 2 more frames here. It's too jerky otherwise. Let's see. this up a little bit more. So a couple steps back here. The other thing we could do is do it with the chest here. So we could do the rotate Z. It's a little more like this here. Like that there. This. Make sure I'm doing it all in the right time frame here. Okay. Grab it here. Rotate it down there. Over there. Down there. Over there. And back again. Okay, let's look at those rotate Z's again. And we'll even them out a little bit more here. That way we can get some lift actually here. So we want to push that to about around 12 here. So let's see here. Another thing we'd have to do is raise the hips up a little bit more because we'd be really intersecting through the ground plane here. So we'd have to lift those up a little bit more here. That's fine. A little bit more there. Bring that up. So let's see. And it's like here, what do we do? We did a little bit of translate Y, right? So let's have it go up a little bit higher, a little bit over. A little back. Bring that in. And still keep it up a little bit higher here. So it kind of shoots out a little bit, I guess. Be kind of the feeling here. Bring that to there. Let's see. Maybe we can drag it back down a little bit to have it extend. Let's see. Eyes are all funky though. I wish I could do something with those eyes here. So maybe we'll just have to rotate the head a little bit. So we'd have to go almost like that to get the eyes to work right. Wish there was an eye controller, that'd be nice. Reference plane. No. Sometimes they hide those controllers though too. I went in and turn the visibility off. No, that's not gonna help. Show turn cursor. Okay, at least that way it's a little better, and then we can put something else in there. Alright, it's not perfect, but at least it's somewhat stable here. Let's look at how much it actually intersects through the ground plane here. It's not too much. Okay, and let's go ahead and save our file here. And show our nerve surfaces again. We'll delete that. Let's see here. Let's see if we could try a different way. Let's assign a new material to them. Put a Lambert on there. No, that's not working. Pupil. Turn the visibility off on the pupils. Maybe that's all I need to do. Okay, we'll just leave it like that, just because it's too distracting otherwise, I think. thing I want to do is I think I want to take this and what if I do that? That's gonna be funky. We're at 18. At least I can do a little bit of rotating X here, just to kind of make sure that I don't hit the feet there too much. This one seems to work fine, but this one, I'm gonna have to bring the foot in a little bit more here. Yeah, let's look at the rotate X on this guy. Yeah, that's fine. Let's look at the mustache. Maybe we can do a little bit of animation there. No? Let's go window, outliner, character, his body. Exclusion. Let's see if we can find it here. Yeah, it's got to be somewhere in here. Oh, we can do something with a bow tie maybe or something. Let's try this. Show all. See if there's a selector for the bow tie. No, darn. There might be an extra control or something we could have play around with. Okay, let's turn that off then. Just put our NURB curves, NURB surfaces, and polygons back on. Let's see here. Maybe we could allow the rotation on X to merge for a frame there. Bring that back to there. 2 frames and zero that out. Alright, at least we got something workable out of this. We definitely spent another probably hour and a half polishing it up and everything. It'd be nice if we had an eye controller here, and I think we may do. I think this was a better choice, even though we have a little bit of intersection with the ground plane. Better than those arms twisting and everything like we were having when we were using them in IK before. So before we finish up, let's, I think I like that camera angle there, so we'll create a new camera. We'll make a little pedestal for him. And so let's do a cube for this guy. Bring it in a little bit more. And zero it out there. Scale it up. And I think I'll bring it, actually, make it a little bit smaller. And I'll copy this. Paste another one. Scale that one up a little bit. Bring it down here. stripe in those pants there. Do something like that. Okay, and I'll look back at our original perspective here. Maybe zoom out a bit, turn it just a bit, and let's see here. Alright, now one other thing I think I'm going to have to do now that I have a plane here for it. So maybe they're going to have to bring that down a little bit more. It's a little better. Zoom out a little bit more. Again, not perfect. A bunch of stuff I'd probably tweak around, but I think it works. We might do a little bit more variation with the up and down in that foot here. Just exaggerate it a little bit more. Turn them a little bit more here. Alright, I think that works. So let's take a look back at where we started. We were looking at the beautiful work of Rafael Albuquerque, and he said, keep the ideas fresh and original as much as possible. And I think this is a pretty wacky, weird idea that we ended up doing with this one. Definitely broke the rig a few times, but I think it was a fun little experiment. It seems he looks like a mad scientist. I think experiments are a good way to go here. As you can see, we got some deformation going on right there, which is no good. This foot isn't really reacting exactly the way I'd want. I'd rather have these in IK, but I think we had some things that work. It was fun going through, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one, or at least learned something, or bare minimum got encouraged to go off and create your own stuff. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for all the likes and subscribes. I love you guys tons. I hope that you're experimenting and trying new and fresh and original ideas, and trying to learn from the people who've gone before you and push the mediums that you're passionate about ahead another step as well. And I think that'll wrap it up for today. So that being said, I love you guys lots again, and we will see you for some more animation tomorrow.